Hello, beautiful hearts. Thank you for being here. Today, I would like to share my story. A story of what it means to live on earth and having this human experience, but living from a place of hard, being confused, allowing others to tell what is the best, choosing unconscious and trusting that those around you know what's the best for you, and overcoming hopelessness, surviving, and manipulation and mind games. So, my name is Juliana McLean. Thank you so much for being here. And I will start to saying life on earth is not an easy life. We have to face a lot of pain, chaos that sometimes can really damage a part of us to such a degree that we may become unfunctionable. Some of us are lucky to be strong in their hearts and mind, to face, to feel the pain, but to miraculously to be still okay in their hearts and mind. So I want to share what I have been through and what's bring me to be here today. I grew up in Republika Moldova, a small country between Romania and Ukraine, a country where we are learned to survive, emotional survive, financially survive. At least I say my experience, what I have been lived home. My parents shared their love in the way they knew and the way they could. They take care of me. I'm grateful for them. I'm here today because of them. But I always felt something is missing, something is not right. This is not the way how I feel and see that I have to be in a place called family. It was weird to be in that place. My father have a problem with alcohol. He himself dealing with his own pain and swallow it through alcohol because it was hard, whatever he was going through. Because of that, the violence home, it was weekly and many times per week. I saw the violence. I saw my mom being beaten, hiding herself with blue eyes and hiding under the tables. As a child, I was felt so hopeless. I could not do anything, even though I want so much to do. To a point, I can remember when in one of this fight, I blamed myself in the middle and I kicked my father to stop doing that. In the other cases, my father turned around and slapped me because I blamed myself in this stuff. But seeing all this, I saw the masculine power, how is ruling. I grow up in this environment where I have been created this reality, mentality, call it, where the women are hopeless. They are so hopeless that they cannot survive alone in life. That in order for them to build something, they need a man, and to have a man, it's required for a woman to bend the head down, to listen, Not so much to say because there is man in the power. There is man who is in charge. I was a child, and by seeing all these abuses, verbally, physically, emotionally, we as a children, I have two more brothers, we was running and hiding because we just run out of his way because we don't want any more concerts, or I call it this circus. And we was praying, God, please help us. So this time will be more soft. So this time will not be crazy. So this time something else to be more peace. But of course, there was not because pain was too strong. Pain was too horrible. And it has happened that I have chosen to live in that kind of environment. Being in Moldova, life is not looks. Yes, there are people who live on looks, but that's life are for others. For me, it was a place where I could not enjoy the trips with my class. I cannot enjoy moments or events with my colleagues because I need to pay, and my family had not money for such a thing. So I felt like because of that, a beautiful part of the childhood opportunities of joy has been taken away because of the financial situation. Yes, I have food on the table. Yes, I had clothes. I was to school. It has given me the education that I need. So today I can stand here in my life present. But all this, what I have seen as a child, I have created, as I said before, a reality of what's mean to be a woman, how the woman is treated, what is allowed for a woman or not. And imagine, just put yourself in a place to imagine what a child could have. Deep inside me, I felt it and I knew the mother have to be more close by her daughter. The conversation need to go to, more deep. No, I don't have such a looks. I don't had such a looks. And that was my experience. I remember when I get in love, I don't know what to do. I was not sleeping one night home. And then I was beaten to a point where I wanted to take my life because I felt so hopeless and so alone that I felt I need to talk to my mom about these things, but she was not available for that. So I tried, but with no success. I felt so painful and hurt. I was having 16 years old is an age of openness, of getting in love, of experience, or all that. So I felt my whole life mostly alone. I was married two times. I was divorced two times. And I felt that I missed my mom in those places, in those events. But this what it has been given to me to experience. So, with this said, seeing all this in my family, how the woman is suppressed, is abused verbally, physically, to a point where I saw my father being in his pain of craziness, of holding a axe in front of my mother's forehead. And as a child, I was asking myself, it will he kill her? I have the memories of that. I can see it today still. It was traumatic to live in a place where pain was ruling. for my mom and for my dad. But I choose to be there, to grow in those kind of experiences so I can learn. Moving on in life, finish with school, figure out what I want to do in the future. On the way, I meet a person or a man online. He was from the neighbor country, from Romania, and I was having 18 years old. I say, "Oh my God, I'm free. I can take decision by myself. I can go left and right. I don't need to give to my mom explanation or father because I was quite a rebel child. I felt I need to do things. I felt I need to break some rules. I did it because I felt I need my own experiences, so I cannot listen to them. I was a real rebel to a point where my mom locked the door because I was coming to discotheque in that time, and she locked the door, and I was like, "Holy crap, what now?" And good, I remember one window, it can be possible opened outside, so I come inside on the window. So my mom in morning was quite pissed and say, "Where you was? Where you come from, how you come in," and so on. So, yeah, that kind of type of rebellion inside me was. Anyway, going back, I met online a person and I was super excited. 18 years old, a man pay attention to me, is a man. He was with 10 years older than me. Um, of course, I was super excited and happy because I don't have a relationship before. I don't know what that mean. I don't have this kind of experiences with men to have an idea how these game things are working out. So yes, he come to visit me in Moldova. Wow. Okay, he's putting effort left and right till a point where he helped me to have a visa to go to neighborhood country because Moldova is not in Union European. Maybe today they find out something about it. I don't know. I'm disconnected. So I don't know exactly what's going on there. But in that time, it's needed a visa because Moldova was a it's like was a prison. You cannot go out in Europe or something only to Russia. And me and Russia, we was not friends. I never liked the language, the country, the many things. So yes. So imagine 18 years old. He take care of me, coming in Moldova, showing what he has and throwing out with this money, playing the mind, show me that, oh, I will be protected, or, all these that I could not have home. He showed me in a way that so I can be taken mentally. So I would just fall into it. And somehow I fall. But before to take the step, there was a conversation that it's put me in a place to choose. And that conversation was in order for me to create a life with him, to move to his home, to his parents, I have to do one thing, and that is to sell my body. I was having 18 years old. I don't knew even what that mean exactly. I I was paralyzed mentally because I tried to figure out what that mean, how this is working out. I was living in countryside. I was not coming from a city. The difference between city and countryside is big. And I felt I felt like I, I really don't understand it what he really means with that. So of course I start to cry because I could not believe my ears. I was like, what is all this? He just showed me all this new life and looks and clubs and now he asked me to do that. Uh, I was paralyzed. And in that day when he come to share this, to tell me, he come with a friend, male and female. So somehow he pushed that female so will talk to me because it's easy to get convinced when a woman speak that. So whatever she have said, I stand to a point where I will say to myself, I said to myself, 1 year, 1 year, I think I can do it. 1 year. I was pushed by no one. It was my choice because on the other side, I felt my life in Moldova, it's ending. I felt that I have no future for me to live there. I felt that I have to run. And today I realized the sacrifice of, so to say, get out from pain and hell, so to say, it was to sell my body. I was trafficked by my own husband. I was sent to places by my own husband. I was raped by my own husband before all this to happen. I don't knew what love it mean. I don't know what was to make love. So I create this. That's how it is. That's what make love. Even though I say no, 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 he say yes, 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 and he push, 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 and then I have no way to do anything because the power, physical power, you cannot compare it. And then in the end, is smiling and talking to you as if nothing wrong has happened. And that's how I get manipulated, mind played that this is what it is. So I choose to run out from my country. No one knew anything. I choose to go there from one hell to another, but a better place of hell where I was having opportunities more than I had being home. This experience have changed my life in so many ways. So living with this man for 5 years, I was having 18 years old. 18. My life was in the beginning. I don't knew to enjoy the beauty of life, how normally women, girls are enjoying it today. I don't knew what is that. I had no friends. I have no friends because he did it in such a way so I will not have any friends. The only friends was his parents. He did it in such a way so I will cut off the connection with my mom, with my family. So the only way, the only family was him and his family. 5 years I go through chaos, madness. I go to temptations to kill myself because I could not bear anymore to experience the pain, the all that madness. I was beaten because I don't know how that job has to be done. And I was not coming home with the money that he knew it was to be. I was beaten for not knowing to do that job. He was control me. He even moved with me in other country so to be under control. So I cannot have anyone to talk, to find out ways to talk to somebody else so I can escape. It was hell, a hell where I was there to assist him and his family. My mind knew only them as my family. So all the money, it was sent to them. I was so, people were saying naive, but I was so trusting that or believing that one day it will change and he will hold his promise and one day I will stop with this and we will have a really family. So I don't put anything for myself because I trust people. I trust him. So it goes in this kind of ways to a point where I had to move in the country I find myself in today. That's why I choose this country to be my home for so many reasons, because I felt a woman is protected, a woman is listened, and does not matter who you are, husband or boyfriend, you are responding for your own actions. And that what I felt, it was like, wow, I will be here. So I remember the year of 2012, the end of 2012, where living with him, working in the same time, just in the other room. Crazy. Yes, I know. You go to a point where he lost his mind in smoking too much cannabis. And again, this plant is a medicine plant. It's require respect. And if you use it, you have to use it with intention, not just abuse it. But he was made abuse, smoking so much that he almost lost his mind, go in this psychosis place. It was crazy. And this period was Christmas time, before Christmas or between Christmas and New Year, something this celebration. I don't even remember. What I remember was I was beaten 3 days in a row for no reason or with reason. If say something, if don't say something, if I did something not right, if whatever. There was excuses for everything. I remember in this period when I was putting myself on knees in front of him and I was begging him, please don't beat me. I don't want it anymore, because I felt I I cannot anymore be beaten again. For what? Why? So I remember I was kind of praying in front of him, don't do that. Also, on these days, in one of these chaos, turbulence times, with speaking a lot of madness to me and make me to go nuts mentally, I was hitting myself with a glass, with a beer glass, where I was smash it on my head because I wanted to disappear and I hoped that I will fall down and I will end and this will finish. This chaos, this pain, this madness will end. No, it was not happen. The battle was getting pieces. I was still there, feeling nothing, no success. I was in despair, in so much despair. No friends, no family, nobody to talk with. In a country, I don't know the language, I don't know the culture, I don't know anybody. I was finding myself alone. Till one day, he goes so nuts. He opened all the doors, the windows, and he started to speak a lot of crazy stuff where I felt it in my core of my being. If I'm not leaving this room, this apartment now, I don't know where this will end. So I left, I jumped the window. I don't even check the door because I knew I would be stopped. So I jumped the window. I ran in the corner of the other building, shaking, crying, not knowing what to do. So I called the landlord of the apartment, saying the situation. Then we decided to call the police. The police has come. In the meantime, I was not being there. He made the apartment crazy. Everything was destroyed. Everything was torn all apart. It was mess, mess, mess. Anyway, police come. That was the day when I realized I'm saved. I'm safe in this country. I am safe. They asked me if they beat me. I say not today because I was praying. I don't want anymore him to touch me. So was did in such a way that police take him. I was stand home, cleaning up, 5 o'clock in morning, start a candle after everything was in the right place, and praying to God, looking at the candle and praying, God, please help me. Because I knew he will get out from there, and I don't knew what he will do, where he will go, because where he can go, of course, he will come back here, and then what? I knew I will be destroyed if this will happening because I don't know anymore. I don't knew anymore of anything. So that's happening in such a way that he called me to bring him the key from the car to the police station. And so I did. It was 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in December. And he take the car, swearing to me, make me names, call me names, spit on me, talking so dirty in ways I felt so humiliated by my own husband. And spitting on me and take me name, he told me these clear words. You are so fucking lucky you are not in Romania because I could beat you in front of the police station. I don't know what's happening there, but he was afraid to touch me. And I felt safe. First time ever in my country, I felt safe. So he go. And even though I don't knew where, later on I realized he was on the way home to Romania. I walk back to the apartment with nothing, no phone, no money, no nothing. Walking and imagine, not knowing anything about my life. I needed 2 days to sleep, to recover. I remember walking on that road home, and that night I was passing a bridge and I stopped there. It was cold, it was December, people was not on the road, was a weekend time or something like this. And I was crawl up there on the bridge and looking down to the water and talking with myself. I say, okay, if we jump now, we end this and I don't need to think about and I'm free from this because I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to handle my own life because I never lived my life by myself. I don't know how to deal with it. So I sit there and looking down and I was thinking, okay, it would be painful, it will be cold water, kind of calculating how the impact will feel. And then a silence take over me, a peace. And I was just looking there and staring to the water. And then I don't know what's happening, but I felt like with not saying nothing, like something take me out from there, turn my body and push me to go home. So I did it. That was the most painful years of my life. Not only that, my own husband did that to me, but from my naivety of trusting and hoping for change in others. It was it was the most miserable years of my life. I felt so miserable. He did such a act of humility that I could never experience, not spitting on me, much more humility that a woman can go through. I was so humiliated, but I felt disgust of myself so much. And my mind, my heart was asking myself, what is this? Is this life? I guess so. I saw it in my family. I saw how my mom have to swallow all this because has to grow us up. I was not having kids. But the mentality of what create, this hopelessness, this surviving has kept me in this prison of accepting all this misery. Because I was afraid to live this life alone. Because my mind, the patterns that I was being carry, has put me in a place of no escape. This is life. Swallow it. Move on. This is what it is. There is no other ways. This is life. So, going through this hill, hill of a hill, I meet a man in this country, in the new country where I can say with a savior for that moment, where he saw something in me. And I don't know what he saw, but he saw something in me. We become friends, and later on, we start to get more close. And for a short, I think 1 month or so, he asked me to move together. I was like, wow. I was fearful because I was not divorced, but I ran away. I don't want to deal anymore. On the other side, still the emotional attachment was there. I was still continue talking with the husband at time, with his mother, and hold me in this emotional pain and in this emotional attachment and play mind games. I say I was raped physically, I was raped mentally in those 5 years of having those relationships, not only by my husband at time, but also by his mother. It was a game. It was such a narcissistic family. I could not comprehend at that time. So meeting this man, seeing whatever he saw in me, and I see he was like a savior. I moved with him just to forget of my past, just to forget of what I go through, just to change, to flip the page and to go to another direction, just to not remember anything what I was going through, as if nothing has happened. I choose to do that. So he helped me to integrate in life. I call me. He tried to learn me to connect with people, to have friends. He even told me to me, go to learn Kramaga so there will not be men who ever will touch you. And so I did it. 2 months living with boyfriend that time. I need to take a decision because in the meantime I was talking with the mother of my husband. So I was married, but I was living with a boyfriend because I just wanted to cut it off. I don't knew how, and I see that's why this man has to come in my life to help me to break that chain because I don't knew it to do it alone. I felt so manipulated mentally and emotionally in a way that I could not see clearly. I really could not. That was so familiar, that kind of poor life to live. So boyfriend that time helped me to cut it off, helped me to learn to speak so I can have the divorce and I can it up. But was there a day, a moment in time where still connected with his mother, I felt this pull on the familiarity and I needed to take a decision. So speaking to boyfriend, I said to him like, I think I want to go back to Romania because I felt this emotional attachment and she was crying on the phone and oh my God, he's missing you and he's crying and he wants you to come home and all this freaking emotional manipulation. So I was kind of pulled and back in this past and this familiar pain and despair. And so I said to my boyfriend that time, living with him in his apartment, I said to him, like, I think I want to go back in Romania. And I was shaking and crying because I was put in a place of fear. I was so afraid of the new. I was afraid of the unknown. I was afraid of not knowing who he is, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture of this new country. So all this for me was so new, and I was so afraid that I was wanting to choose to run in the familiarity and the pain, despair, chaos, because that was not first time I wanted to step away from that relationship. And when I come back, oh God, I was so much beaten that I will regret the day that I need to come back. So when I said that to my boyfriend that time, he said something that opened my eyes so clearly that I could not deny it. I say what I need to say, and then he said this clearly. Okay, so go back to your shitty life. And those words go so deep into my heart that I was frozen and say, yes, you are right. This is a fucking shitty life. You are right. But at the same time, I was so afraid to stay where I was because it was unknown. I don't knew it, where it goes. At least there I knew I will be beaten. This will happen. This will be, if, you know. So that was the day where I choose to break this prisoner, this place of being in a prison emotionally, because there I have no right to say what I think, to say what I feel. As a wife, I was not having the right to say to him, I don't want and I don't like you to go with other women. My words was not matter. My emotion was not matter. Nothing. He did what he wanted to do with me. So by this experience, I break this chain that was holding me in this familiarity, emotional manipulation, and all this place of feeling hopeless. And I did it. It was the best decision of my life. Because by doing that, I have been creating a new life, a life where I start to come more close to myself. I start to have a normal job. I get married with a boyfriend. So I have a second husband. I learn the language. I integrate myself perfectly in this culture of free minds. And I become instructor in Krav Maga. as a woman after 3 years. I love it. And I don't know why I love it. Maybe I love it because I go through so much pain. So I want to know the whole of it. So I was teaching Krav Maga, self defense. I was teaching women and men the techniques, how to defend themselves. I changed my life by doing this, standing in front, getting back the confidence, trusting myself, what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and teaching others. After 8 years doing this, again, I fall into this loop where I go to work, I go to teaching. That was my passion. I love it. I go to train and I come home and chill out and smoke. When I say smoke, cannabis, because I was full of pain. I also had all that pain inside me. So that was my day to relax. At the end of the day, then sleep, and then wake up, and everything from the beginning. So I fall in another loop. Till one day, I say to myself, I will meditate just by fun. I don't know what's coming to me just to meditate. I lie down in bed. I put my hands on the heart, and that was the moment when something incredibly beautiful and huge has opened up in my life. Being in that place, I just, I don't know what I was, but I remember these clearly words: "You are one of a kind." And then I felt unconditional love. My mind tried to compare it. Husband love, it was not that. Mother love, no. Father, no. No, I could not compare that love. So my mind tried to compare it with something because it was so beautifully. And then was this thought, oh, if I will kill another human being, I will be loved the same. And in that moment, I realized this is God's love. This is unconditional love. This is God love. And in that moment, my dog jumped on the bed and I felt my body in this gelatin state where I don't have bones and I was nothing and I could not move. And I was like, another experience of, wow, what is this? I was not scared. I was like curious, like, what is this? How come I don't feel my body's like no bones? I realized today that love was of who I am. And that body filled with no bones was my galactic self, this Andromedan galactic self. It's given to me to experience this. I could not move. My husband was calling me to get out or move a little bit, and I could not respond. And in that moment, I realized, oh, I'm not in my body, but I hear, but I cannot move. So I needed a couple of seconds to move my toes, my fingers, so I can be back in this physical reality. So I did it, and I wake up from that experience with a mind blowing questioning and having so many questions. My journey begins from that moment. I I start to question a lot of stuff. I start to go on Google and YouTube and whatever, right? What's meant to feel love? What is this? I was not, I don't knew what means spirituality. I was not connected to spirituality. I don't know what's that, what you can hit with and meditate. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what is that, Ida? So something huge has opened where I start to put question and The next year or year and a half, I start to listen a lot of recordings. I start to read books. I start to go more deep in this self-development. I start to figure out because that experience has really opened up my soul. Not only that I start to read, I start to face the dark night of the soul. Crying, not knowing why. Laughing, staring, not knowing why. I was having so emotional disorder, so to say. Now I'm crying, now I'm laughing. Let's say crazy. We have to lose our minds so we can wake up our soul. I go through these periods where I try to comprehend to the mind level why I'm crying. I felt I was dying, being alone, not sharing this with anybody because I could not. I don't know how to open up to this because I was used to cry alone by myself. So I don't know how to open up this to my husband that time. So I was hiding myself to a point where I was in bed alone, crying and screaming and say it out loud, I'm dying. And I don't knew what is going on with me. I felt that I'm dying. Going to job, I could not stop my tears. My colleagues was asking me why you crying, and I say I don't know, and I could not stop. I tried, but I could not. I needed to go to hide myself to continue crying. So maybe I will have 5 minutes of, okay, I'm here. I could not. I was so hopeless in what I was being experienced, not understanding, but going through so much emotional shift and switch and turn it and with all this to a point where I felt that my emotions start to change towards my husband. I could not see him as my husband. I start to feel he's more as a friend. And I felt deep inside me that I have to leave the place, to leave the relationship, to divorce. And again, I could not comprehend why. So for 2 weeks, I sit in my mind to try to make sense of why I need to divorce and why my emotions have changed, why I not see myself anymore having making love with him, why I see him just as a friend, why I don't see myself in the same place as I did it before. 2 weeks I turned my brain upside down to a point where I had a breakdown. A breakdown I had being on my job. I start to scream, run in a corner, and asking myself where I am, what I'm doing here, what's going on. People will say that was really mind problem. I was going home. Coming home, something triggered me to a point where I could not bear and I start to scream it out loud like a desperate human being screaming from the deepest place with hope of the release of something. My husband take me to the psychiatric because he don't know what's happening. I don't know why that was happening, but I knew I'm not fucked up. I felt I need to be by myself. I felt I need to listen myself, but at the same time, I felt I was reasons and something that I cannot speaking, I cannot say it, I cannot break free of, because was all this emotional attachment, all this programmed mind, all these patterns that we hold, and I felt I could not escape of that. But inside me, I knew I need to get out, and I don't know how. So through those kind of madness and craziness and despair and emotional chaos and mind, everything has to collapse. The people I knew and I told her my friends start to turn and run away. Everybody that I thought that was there, that one day I will turn to them for ask for help, they was not there. They run. They run. I felt alone. I had to stop to teach because I was not able. Once I did that, all those people that I know, I could not knew them anymore. It's like changes the faces. I talk, I need help. They say yes with their mouth. When the actions needs to be done, they run and they don't answer to my phone call. So I find myself alone in a country that is not mine, but it feels as mine. So I take the decision to divorce. And remember after I said this to my husband that time, I have to divorce. I need to divorce. I cannot do this anymore. I was so afraid because I knew anyone in this country and where I was going, I don't knew where. Because the home that I had was him and the place where I was living and the three boys, dogs that we had. That's all what I had in my life. I knew I needed divorce, but I don't know where I was going because I never lived this life alone. I was never take care of myself alone because from a small child I'd had this idea, I had this pattern, this belief that a woman is hopeless and she needs somebody so she can grow, so I can survive, so I can live. That was, and the despair of not knowing what the fuck I am doing, but I felt it so deep. That's the only way I have to walk this path. I did it. I remember today, after having this conversation, I felt so much released in my heart, in my soul, and I felt so much calm in my system, even though I don't know and I don't knew what I was going, what I was doing, where I'm going. I divorced, but where are you going? Oh God, that was really rough awakening that I could had. Really painful, where I tried to make sense with my mind, but I could not make sense of things. But deep inside, I felt this is what I need. This is what I need to do. Where the people that I knew as friends, they was not there. They was only there when they need me. They was only there when I was as a support for them. But when I fall down on my knees and looking left and right for help, I was finding no one. Contrary, some of them try to put me more down. So I choose to move in another city away from this life again, running, because that's what I knew to run. So I run again 300 kilometers away and living alone, learning to live alone, learning how to rent an apartment and to sign a contract, learning how to find a job by myself and a contract and is not my, but I knew language, I knew culture, and that was my plus. Learning to make food for myself because ex-husband was making food that time. I don't see myself as woman who sit in the kitchen. That's who I am. So learning all this to live alone, living alone, it was pain, weekly crying, feeling the pain of betrayed, feeling the pain of being alone, feeling the pain of so what was happening in the last 8, 9 years, feeling the pain of abandoning my children. That was the dogs that I had. I felt how I left my children behind. It was horrible. So as I said, I run. Somehow in this period, I come close to myself, close to my heart, close to me, to me. myself, but not fully. So life made somehow in such a way that after I run, I block the number. I block everything with the past, with the husband, with the friends, so to say, said. I close the road, the doors, and I run. But somehow life told me, or showed me, or did it in such a way that I have to turn back in the past. So somehow I find myself back with the ex-husband in the same house with one baby less because one of my child dog was dying exactly in the moment when I choose to move away. He was there, the soul was there as a support, and when whatever was done, the contract has end, so he moved further in another place. I understand all these symbols. I could see through things. So I was finding myself in the same home with ex-husband, but this time in another form. This time we was friends. We respect each other. I live in one place, he live in another place. Many could not understand how this is possible. Nobody get that you don't come together. No, I don't want. And there is nothing to go into. Yeah, what it was, it was. I'm not there. So no, thank you. But we was friends. What was teaching me actually this experience is to not run from myself. So I find myself here, now speaking, in the same place, realizing that life wants to show me something, that life wants to open the eyes more fully and to show me that I have still some patterns to be seen, to be acknowledged, and to be aware. And one of those are the mind games, emotional manipulation, and dealing with narcissistic behavior. So both my husbands have these narcissistic behaviors. I cannot see it because I always saw people to their heart and soul. I could never understand why this has happened. I could not comprehend. So I fall into this mind manipulation. People say naivety, but I can say I could see their soul because there is no separation. Even though I don't knew understand all that, I could see through the soul. So I could trust and I could fall in all these games and I could fall in all this manipulation. Life had to send me back to see it, to overcome it, to understand it, and to stand up for myself. Yes, he was there to assist me one day. But then this time I realized it was another game. Yes, I'm grateful for everything what we have been experienced and how he helped me to open myself because actually he helped me to integrate me and I receive a kind of love in whatever way he gave me all this safety and security and that's helped me to go up spiritual to grow up and when I when I felt like I need more to grow up spiritually then he could not give me more of that so that's why I need to divorce and to break it because my soul was hungry of living life on earth to realize that here on earth there are also living black angels. We are angels, all of us. Does not matter white or black, rainbow color. We are angels. We are all at the core divine. But here we are playing whatever we are choosing to play, or we are lost. I can call it lost, and then fall into this manipulation trends that is so selfish and for self-own gain. Today, being here and sharing with you all this, what was teaching me all this? Oh my God. So all this experience, going through the sexual abuse, mentally, physically raped, being a victim of human traffic, being a victim of narcissistic behavior, I learned that we as a humans have so much power when we are aware of who we are. We have a human body, but we are not humans. We get lost in our minds and our attachments and behaviors and patterns, but we are not that. Today, sitting here and speaking to you, I can say that what was teaching me the prostitution, so to say, because this prostitution archetype is everywhere. Man or woman, all of us is prostituting in one way or another. Pay attention. When you do something you don't want to do, but you just do it because you want a specific outcome, that's mean you prostitute yourself. This has teaching me to live, to feel what's mean to be a woman used, abused, sent into that place, not knowing who she is and what power a woman is holding. This was teaching me the power of sexuality. Today, I'm sitting here and I know what's mean the power of sexuality. It's not something to send, it's not something to give left and right. Is something to hold on you, because this sexuality, what you call it, is your soul, is the energy on your body that is your soul. This also teaching me to see more clearly, to feel where women, how women are feeling. What is a woman life can be in the most darkest place. I learn and I overcome my pattern of victimhood mentality. I overcome the pattern of hopelessness, of surviving, because all that what I was doing was from a place of survive. That's what I learned from the first relationship. From the second relationship, I learned that here on earth, there are black angels. And they do good things. But you may fall in something really unhealthy and toxic. So what I learned from the second relationship is to see through the mind games, to trust my own energy, to trust my own feeling, and to choose myself no matter what. I love him from the core, but I move on. I know whatever I'm saying, it will be twisted, so it will working out for him. There is no reason to say something. There is no point to explain, because there are not ears to hear. And the world is splitting in this way. I have gratitude for how he impacted my life and how he somehow crossed my path so I can redirect my life. I'm grateful and I love him because he's an angel, but he's lost. And I know God loves him too, more than I can. This is a human life experience, to feel to the core, to see through a heart, a soul, but to be confused of the reality that we see, of the people that love us and tell us this is how it is and there is no other way. This is a pure example of how much power we hold inside ourselves that we can raise up. We can learn from our own painful experiences and learning and get rewards. Today, I'm in a place where I obeyed to the divine power. I say yes to this duty, and I'm here in service for divine to work through me. I forgive myself for putting myself on those experiencing being unconscious, being confused. But I'm grateful because those painful experiences teach me the most powerful lessons of life. Today I'm aware that I am energy, and all that I have to do is to listen my heart. No matter how much I love people around me, but if they are toxic for my beingness, I have to remove myself from there with love and grace. Today, I understand you when you're falling on your knees or feeling so much pain. We are divine beings having a human experiencing come here on earth from so many galactic places, from other universes, to experience this amazing experience that it's happening on planet earth right now, the awakening of the soul, having a human experience, going through years and years and thousands of years of darkness and pain, but overcoming and remember the light within. We are living the most spectacular time on earth, where all our brothers and sisters from the universe are watching us one by one to see how are we doing this, and we need to stick together. That's what it is, together in unity, because no one is higher or lower. We are on the same level, experiencing life on Earth, because it's the most challenged planet on this universe. It's the place where we knew how many challenges we will face. We knew before we come here. So I tell you, don't stay into your victimhood mentality, because it's your mind, it's your programmed mind that tell you you cannot do it. And I tell you, you can. You can stay brave. You can overcome all that. You can remember who you are. Love yourself. Forgive yourself and forgive those that hurt you and break your heart time after time. This time on earth, we are awaking. And what we can do together, we can bring the heaven on earth through our own physical body, through our own experience, to alchemize that pain and darkness that we carry, to transform it into love, compassion, and understanding, grace, forgiveness. We are the duality in our own self. We can be the dark angels or we can be the light. It's up to you what you want to choose. But I am here to take you home. I am here to remember that our home is in our hearts. And does not matter how many times you fall on knees and cry and think that the world is hell. Yes, it may be, but the world is in your own heart, how you feel and how you navigate through the challenges, painful times. My beautiful hearts, we do this together. It's painful, but it's so rewarding when you accept the place you are and you don't want to escape, but to walk through fire, to willing to face the darkness from within and to say to it, I love you. And thank you for what you could build me in. Beautiful hearts, this is my story. How I wake up, what I was going through. And I say it here to encourage you, to let you know you are not alone in this. You are not alone. I know the pain. We have to make it our friend, to love it, and to be okay with it. And to embody the divine of who we are. To wake up the soul, the eyes from within, not from the outside. What you see is illusion. You have to stand in your own light in the middle of the chaos with the love, with grace and forgiveness and understanding. Because that's why you come here. You are not alone. This is life on earth as a soul awakening itself from the so long sleep, from the Atlantis time. Many say Atlantis is what we are repeating or experience right now. Yes, it is. It is. After the Atlantis has fallen, we was put into this darkness of forgetting who we are, of going so low, forgetting who we are, and start the life from scratch. And here we are again today to start the life from scratch, from within. I pray so you can walk this path with grace, so you can have more love and compassion for yourself, so you can see more deep than your true physical eyes can see. So you can open up your heart even then and even when you feel pain. Don't keep your heart closed. Open it up. because there where you are standing, that's the door of your soul. Don't shut down yourself. Not that's why you come here. Don't let the pain to put you down because you are more strong. With this said, this was quite long one. I was not expecting it. But all is good. Remember that. All is good. Trust yourself. Remember the spark is there. It's sparkling in your heart. It wants to get wild. It wants to shine more. Don't, don't shut it down, the light you have within. Let it expand, even when you cry. No, that's why you come here. To shine your light. And don't let others to tell you otherwise. They may feel intimidated. They may tell you, who are you? So say, yes, that's who I am. I just am. I am. Because you are divine. So welcome on earth. Together, we are creating the new earth. So keep your heart open. So in this way, we are transcending into the new earth. We are creating it together in unity, love, and oh boy, you have no idea what beauty is yet to come, but not before, to face the darkness, to see the light from within, and to see the darkness that it's showing more and more because you let your light to grow. Don't be afraid. Just watch and know you are protecting where you are, and you are loved remarkably much. Thank you so much for listening, for being here, for shining your light, for be yourself, for love yourself. Let's create this beautiful new world together because I come here for this. I come here for this. Let's go home. Let's go home because the joy is just to surface, but we have to face the pain. And it's okay. We can. I did it. If I did it, I know you can too. Trust, trust, trust. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and love yourself. Forgive yourself. Give to yourself that you was always looking around for. Nothing is outside of you. Everything is inside of you. Trust yourself and shine your light. Love you.